Welcome to Ink and Bones. My name is Jaden. In this video, we're going to go through the page 2 inks from my creator-owned Halloween comic book, The Spooky Adventures of Patti and Jack. And without further ado, let's get into the inks. So starting off with page 2, we get right into it. We have Patti Xing out all the dates until she gets onto the most important day of the year, Halloween. And this is actually a page that I went over and did some extensive edits to. It's pretty much a completely different page. This first panel is the same as far as angle and what she's doing, but her hand, I mean, it looked like it was my hand. It was very much of a bony, thick man hand for Patti. So I had to switch that up. Her putting on her makeup, which is what we're seeing here. Her putting on her Halloween makeup, that was exactly the same. I don't think I switched up anything in regards to that, but the rest of the page, I switched it up because the point of the page is her getting ready for Halloween. She then runs into the street and, you know, the adventure starts. And the page that I had before it was cool, but it was her like knitting, or it was her like sewing her costume. It was her putting on her boots. It was much more of it was her like gearing up type of a page. And I don't know, I just didn't like it. So this one definitely has more dynamic angles to it. Definitely shows off that she's cool. It's Halloween and she is shocking kids because the words that go on this page are she's wearing a costume that's sure to cause fear. So I had to show some sort of reaction to her. And on the previous version of this page, I had her running. It was a completely different angle. It was more of a straight on shot. I like this angle a little bit more. It's tilted. It gives her a little bit more of a twist in her hips, makes her look a little bit more heavy, not fat, but heavy. She has weight to her. I just like the way this looks more, and her face is completely different than the version that I had before. And then here, just adding in her little costume accents, the little stitched on pumpkins. And this page, I was thinking, and this image is this last image, I definitely wanted to incorporate some sort of like manga anime looking type of panel, and they are really good at doing very high and low angle shots. So this was my take on one of those. I think I actually saw a reference, I think it was a One Piece comic, and the main character was jumping very much like Patti is here. So I definitely wanted to incorporate that. And I wanted to give her like a bitchin' entrance. Like, you know, when the kids see her, it's almost like Batman flying over. And, you know, she's engulfed in shadow, but it still has some sort of shock effect. You know, she's leaping over these kids, which is crazy. And also, I'm a big fan of adding in these like street lamps and the telephone wires and making those very much like a constant thing that we just see throughout this whole book. I figured that out when I was doing the pencils later on in the book. So going back and editing this up, I definitely wanted to add those, so I wanted to use that as my main light source. So instead of using the moon, which is I already kind of opened up the book with the moon, the main light source creating this dynamic shadow, or this drastic shadow, is the street lamp above her. And that's just kind of lighting the whole scene. You know, in the background I'll have my Halloween lights, and those will just be kind of little accent lights to contrast what the sky looks like and, you know, things like that. But my main key light, the thing that is going to be lighting that whole scene, is that street lamp right there. And I think it gives it a very dramatic feel. You know, she's in shadow. I think the only thing I'll color on her is like her hair, and like you'll see the color of her costume, just the purple. But other than that, you know, she's very much a little stealth ninja in the night. Especially on the next page, she's sneaking up on Jack. So this actually kind of leads into that very well. And I had some issues trying to figure out what the hell to do on this other side of this panel. I didn't know if I wanted another street lamp, a tree, or what, and I ended up actually just adding nothing and just making the bats in the background because we're let in with bats. So as we're looking up at her, we actually see off in the distance, up in the clouds, you see some bats. All right, and that about does it for the time lapse of the page 2 inks. Now let's check out the final result. And that about wraps it up for the page 2 inks. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked what you saw and you want to see some more, consider subscribing, slash that like button, comment down below, all the things that YouTubers ask at the end of their videos. If you want to see all the pages that I have penciled, inked, some I've colored so far, of the spooky adventures of Patti and Jack, go ahead and check out this playlist right here. But for now, that is going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. That has been another episode of Ink and Bones, and I will see you on the next page.